Please switch to 1.5x or any speed of your choice for a better viewing experience. Most people think that peace comes from comfort. I used to believe the same thing. And with that, what we did? I used to avoid hard things. I used to avoid going to a gym. I used to avoid those hard conversations. I used to avoid studying. Ultimately, I ended up going in a very good college. That's for some another day. Basically, playing it safe altogether, staying comfortable. But in my engineering, in the 4 years of my engineering, I have been breaking that comfort zone, and I have found this one thing um, which is very strange. I could say that is there are some periods where I felt most peaceful when I was doing the hardest thing possible. And these are the moments like my 21K, my 26K, the 50 kilometers of cycling. And this is just not to boast the achievements. There's a science behind it and there's a psychology behind it, which I want to share with you today. So, the harder I pushed my body, the quieter my mind became. That's what the mantra is, what I found there. And with finding that mantra, right, I found another thing. That was the version. I can now distinguish myself as two versions. The version number one, which was in the past, it would be somewhere like limited potential kind of a person. And most importantly, underestimating myself and believing that I don't have anything to do in this world. And with that, what came? Fear of failure. That what if even I didn't even try at that time. I never used to try those times because I used to feel that if I try and if I fail, it will be a very embarrassing moment. That loop used to keep on going for a very long time. And with that, I think that I found something. Right. I found something that is relatable with every single one of us today. And that is my biggest limitation was not fitness or, being this follower of David Goggins kind of thing. The limitation was my belief in myself, what I used to believe I could be. That was my limitation. And later, I I found out that physical fitness or some kind of a suffering is a bridge to that emptiness which you have, or the emptiness, or you could say the mindset gap which you have, right? And when I say physical fitness, it's just not normal going to a gym and doing to a potential. It's even pushing there, pushing in running, pushing yourself in the sport which you're playing. You know why? Why physical suffering is different? Because running doesn't care about excuses. I've seen this with me a lot. The days when I don't run, the days where I run, is the simple thing. Did you complete the run or not? That's what matters. That's what adds to a tally as well. Right? It's the same with gym as well. Or any kind of fitness you take. If you do that, then you are doing good. If you're not doing that, you're just giving excuses about yourself. You're giving excuses about the time. You're not taking out things, you're not prioritizing things on that. I used to do the same thing. And fun fact, I quit gym 4 times before going consistently to the gym. So with suffering, your body shows you the truth as well. And I'm starting to believe this, that the body tells the truth. The body tells the truth about you, who you are, and how do you see yourself, basically. Right? Because in this area of physical fitness, there are no shortcuts. There is no pretentious, you could say, ability that you could show to everyone else that you are trying to be this great person, but you're not. And it's no motivation quotes, just like my posters are there, right? It's none of those things. It's none of those things. It's just your efforts every day. It's the pain you can endure, and with how much consistency you can go with it, right? So for me, I could be wrong on this, but I believe that physical challenges expose the gap between who you think you are and who you actually are, right? So now you might have a question that how I got into this journey, right? So if you go back to a video of mine, like exactly 1 year back, it was almost 1 year back. That is my 21K story, and I remember this very clearly. In 2024 January, I just wanted to run. I just wanted to see how far can I run, right? And that was almost after an year and a half that I went for a run. I completed 2 kilometers in somewhere around 20 minutes or 19 minutes, and I came back panting completely. That's the most important thing. And I did not let that become my identity. I let my identity become something which I'm proud of today, right? So every run became an evidence that I could continue, I could adapt, and I could improve upon. With pushing these limitations, I found my first biggest realization, and that was the body gives up after the mind. Your mind is the first one who tells you to quit. It has happened with me so many times in the runs where I'm suffering miserably, and my mind is saying, "That's it, man. You can't push more. You have aimed for 10, you have done 7 already. 70% of the work is done. Don't go for the extra three. Don't go for the extra three." But most of the limits which the mind puts on us, or we think of putting on ourselves, that are all assumptions. Most of us, when we are going through such a hard thing, right, because our brain thinks that this is difficult, we start to quit early. We don't see through the enough see through the finish line enough. With all these limitations and everything, we put a threshold on ourselves that yeah, our limit is this much, and we start underestimating ourselves. But for me, fitness has always been discovering my capabilities, not about discovering my fitness. Many people think that when you're putting some sort of an audacious goal, even physically as well, it's about having more confidence in yourself, or getting the confidence from people. No, that is not the case, because confidence is temporary, but the internal monologue which you have with yourself and the self trust which you have is the most essential thing. And I'll tell you the difference of that. Don't worry. Confidence often comes from an approach of validation, praise, and achievement, because these are the three things which people can tell us. And once external motivation comes in, our brain craves that a lot because it releases dopamine, feel good hormones, and etc. But self trust is not that. Self trust is something which is, again, your internal monologue, or the brain, which you say, right, is telling you that is about keeping the promises. For example, I hope you can see this. This is my whiteboard, right? So, that was my whiteboard. Now, in that whiteboard, I have written few tasks. Those are the promises I made with myself. If I don't keep up with those promises, that means that I'm ruining my self trust. And if I don't show up doing that, that means I'm ruining my self trust. And continuing it despite being in the audacious amount of discomfort is what will lead you to increase your self trust. And I stopped asking that, can I do that, or can I do this? Am I really capable of that? No. I just go into it. If I know that it is coming into my area of, the goals which I want to have, I just say, let's find out what happens. Max, what you'll do, you'll just quit, right? Nothing more than that. And this is one of the most important sections of the whole podcast I have shot right now. And that is how the hell this physical fitness comes into your daily life as well. Because physical fitness is not a different part of your life or a different identity, it is your single identity, and it helps you become who you are in your careers as well. And I have seen it definitely in my life, because running is a sport where it requires you to concentrate a lot on your legs and the how you are breathing for longer periods of time, since I run long distances, right? Now that experience of handling my heart rate and pressure and pushing through despite discomfort, that is what has led my mindset to in my work as well. Now whenever I see a cognitively challenging thing, I just don't sit around it and try to think, okay, this might be approach, that might be approach, and figuring out things late. I now go deep into those things directly from the day one. It's like, okay, I've been given the task on, let's see what can I do. And I say this every time. My friends know this, my family knows this, And this is one of the things I abide by. Running has changed my life. And it's just not because I'm becoming thinner or I'm becoming stronger. It's because it has helped me in my podcasting journey. There are a few things which um, come from this, and that is that if you're willingly suffering in the gym or in any sport of your choice, that means that any kind of uncertainty or any kind of a new challenge becomes less scary. And that's the same thing I transitioned into in my whole life as well. Right? So, fearlessness is not what people think. What do you think fearlessness is? Once you even break down the word, it literally means that no fear. But it is not no fear or it is not extreme confidence. It is the willingness to explore things despite your slim chances and the amount of pressure you can take. And it is the acceptance of your own faults or the situations where you're in, basically taking extreme ownership. And most importantly, how you really trust yourself, right? Because the more you trust yourself, the more courageous you become, and hence you are less fear. You're having less fear in you. So, this all comes from physical fitness. Trust me when I say this, it has changed my life. It can change your life as well. Fearless people still feel fear. They just trust themselves enough to move anyway, anyway, regardless any sort of challenge. Most people think that peace is having no stress, no problems, comfort, money, wife, kids, husband, whatever is your definition of happy life. But for me, the experience was quite different. For me, attaining peace is my difficult runs, the difficult episodes which I'm making in the podcast, the difficult choices which I make every day, the difficult goals which I'm chasing. You know why? Why for me, difficult things have been a way to find peace? Because I started believing in myself more. I stopped betraying myself. I stopped hiding from the fact that I need to face the challenges. I stopped negotiating with effort. And circling back to physical fitness, this kind of a mindset is also developed in the athletes or the people who go to the gym as well. Those are also athletes, right? So, peace is not just the absence of struggle. Peace is knowing that you're meeting the life honestly. And this is the last segment of the podcast. What will actually happen if you start giving 100% to things? You know, it's from my personal experience completely. And I understand that if you are also going through this, you will fail. You will 100% fail. Even if you'll give 100%, you will still quit. Sometimes things won't work. But regardless of all of these negative things, these are just very small outcomes that you have pre assumed in your mind already. You are not seeing the efforts which you have made, celebrating the small victories, and becoming a better version of yourself every single day. Because even when I fail, I sleep peacefully. And that is due to the fact that I trust myself with the amount of effort I have put and how honestly did I do my work. That is powerful. That feeling of knowing that you have done enough work in your day gives you the satisfaction which no other validation can give you. So, in short, running didn't solve my life at all. I'm still figuring out things, and this podcast is made for that only, right? And there are still many choices that I need to make in my life. Running didn't remove the uncertainty of my life. It did not guarantee any sort of success. And the same thing will happen with physical fitness. It doesn't guarantee you all these metrics, but what it gives you is, for me, it gave me the evidence that who I can be. It gave me the enormous self respect I have for myself and the situations I trust myself in. So, For the final two lines, which I would tell is the peace I was searching for wasn't on the other side of success, it was on the other side of effort. Because when you stop running away from difficulty, you stop running away from yourself. Thank you so much. This was the Dakshamani Show. If you liked it, please subscribe and make sure to comment down the best part you have liked and any sort of video recommendations you have. You can just ping the topic in and let's see if I am able to make it happen. Thank you so much.